Most men believe that losing their morning erection is just a part of aging. But what if I told you that's not true? In fact, the silent disappearance of your morning strength isn't due to your age at all. It's due to something far more surprising and far more fixable. Because right now, inside your body, the entire erectile system is still intact, still waiting, still capable. All it takes is knowing exactly where to press 3 specific points on your manhood and lower body that, when activated correctly, can restore morning erections without pills, without pumps, and without shame. I'm Dr. Jayon Scarlett, professor of urology and men's health, with over 30 years of experience helping men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond reclaim strength and circulation where they thought it was lost. And what I'm about to show you doesn't require a prescription, just a hand, a breath, and a little patience. Now here's the part that may surprise you most. These 3 points are right there on your own body, yet most men go their whole lives without ever pressing them with purpose. They are not myths. They are medically backed activation zones for blood flow, sensitivity, and sexual energy. And once you learn how to use them, everything changes. So stay with me, because in just a moment, I'll walk you through each of them and explain how to combine them with 5 simple habits that supercharge your results. Before we get started, if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Tap that button and turn on the bell so you never miss powerful natural health advice made specifically for men over 60. And if this message speaks to you, type 1 in the comments to let me know you're here. If not, type 0. Your honest feedback helps me make this content even better for you. All right, let's begin with the first and most important truth, something I wish every man over 60 could hear from his doctor. Your body isn't broken. It's just sleeping. That morning strength you used to wake up with, it didn't vanish. It simply went quiet. And now, with just a few minutes of focus, touch, and breath, we're going to help you turn it back on.
Number 1. Your body isn't broken. It's just sleeping. Let me tell you something I've never read in a medical textbook, but have learned over 3 decades of working with men. Most of the changes we go through after 60 are not signs of damage. They're signs of disconnection. I've had men walk into my office, strong, proud men, who lower their voice when they ask about it. "Doc, I used to wake up hard as a rock. Now I wake up and feel like nothing's there. Did something go wrong?" And I always look them in the eye and say, "No, nothing broke. Your body's just gone quiet, and we can wake it back up." You see, your manhood, your circulation, your sensitivity, your response, it's still there. It's not gone, but it's been left unattended. The blood vessels are still intact, but they're sluggish. The nerves still exist, but they haven't been spoken to in a while. Your body has simply stopped receiving the signals it once got so effortlessly. And the worst part, most men think it's their fault, that they've somehow failed or aged out of masculinity. That couldn't be further from the truth. Think about it this way. If a light switch hasn't been flipped in years, the room stays dark. But that doesn't mean the electricity is gone. It just means the circuit hasn't been touched. And the 3 points I'm about to teach you in this video, they're like flipping that switch. Not with force, not with pressure, but with awareness, with breath, with intention. I've seen men cry after feeling a warm sensation return to their lower body, not because of physical pleasure, but because it gave them hope. It reminded them that they're still alive down there, still capable, still whole. That's what this is really about. Not just erections, but reconnection with the part of yourself that helped define your youth, your confidence, your manhood. And the first step, it's learning how to listen to your body again, because it's been whispering. You just haven't been taught how to hear it, but you will. And in just a moment, I'll show you the very first point, a hidden button just above your pubic bone that holds the key to restarting your reproductive energy. Most men have never touched it with awareness, but once they do, things begin to change, sometimes faster than they ever expected. Let me show you exactly where it is and how to use it. Number 2.
the lock that releases blood flow. There's one area on a man's body that almost no one talks about. It's not discussed in locker rooms, it's not taught in medical checkups, and most men live their entire lives without ever truly understanding its importance. I'm talking about the space between your anus and your scrotum, what Eastern medicine calls CV1. Western medicine doesn't give it a fancy name, but trust me when I say this, it matters more than you might believe. I remember a man named Thomas, 71 years old, soft-spoken, proud of his career in the Marines. He told me he hadn't felt real sensation in his lower body for nearly a decade. "Doc," he said, "that's like the lights are off, and I forgot what it felt like when they were on." I introduced him to this second point. I told him, you're not going to push or poke or force anything. You're just going to sit, breathe, and let your body remember itself. Within a few days, something began to shift. He felt warmth, a subtle pulse, the quiet return of life in an area he had almost written off. That's because this point is like a valve, a lock that holds back the natural flow of blood and nerve energy. And when you sit on it gently, using a rolled towel or a soft surface, it begins to soften. The tension loosens, and blood, which may have been restricted for years, finally has permission to move freely again. More importantly, the nerves around your perineum begin to fire again. They remember their job. They reconnect with the brain, and little by little, sensation returns. Not all at once, but just enough to give you hope. Just enough to say, yes, you're still here, and yes, you can still feel. What's so powerful about this technique is that it requires nothing but presence. There's no medication, no machinery, just you, your breath, and a willingness to sit in stillness for a moment each day. It may feel unusual at first, maybe even a little awkward, but the results speak louder than the discomfort. And once you begin, you'll wonder why no one ever told you this sooner. Thomas sent me a message 2 weeks later. It simply read, "Doc, I sat, I breathed, and this morning, I woke up feeling like myself again." Now, what if I told you that there's a third point, one that's even more overlooked than this one? It's not on your groin, it's not on your penis, it's tucked along your inner thigh, far from where you'd expect, but deeply tied to the strength and fullness of your erections. Ready to learn where it is? Let's go there now.
Number 3, the hidden flow along your inner thigh. If you've ever looked down at your inner thighs and thought they were just there to help you walk, you're not alone. Most men never realize that hidden within that soft, quiet stretch of skin is one of the most important blood highways connected to their erections. I remember one of my patients, Earl, 68, retired truck driver, telling me he thought the only use his thighs had anymore was for balance and sitting. Then he discovered what I'm about to share with you, and it changed everything. Tucked along the inner line where your thigh meets your torso runs a powerful energy and circulation path. In Eastern medicine, it's known as part of the spleen meridian. In Western terms, it lines up with the femoral artery and nerve, which are two of the primary routes your blood and signals take to reach the lower organs, yes, including your manhood. When these pathways become stiff, blocked, or understimulated, your erections lose volume, strength, and sensitivity. It's not that your penis can't work, it's that it's not being fed. Earl started a simple practice. Each morning, after activating the first 2 points, he'd lie back and use his fingertips to gently trace from the crease of his inner thigh downward. If he found a sore or tight spot, and trust me, he did, he'd pause, breathe into it, and gently apply pressure for a few seconds. Within days, he began noticing more warmth down below. A week later, he told me something I'll never forget. "Doc, I don't just feel more in my body, I feel more like a man." That's what this third point does. It clears the pipes, it invites blood to flow again. And maybe just as important, it gives you a sense of control. You're not waiting for a pill to kick in, you're taking action with your own hands. That feeling alone is powerful. It reminds your nervous system that you are still connected, still capable, still in charge of your own vitality. And here's what's fascinating. Many men who reactivate this inner thigh line report not only stronger erections, but deeper sleep, calmer mornings, and even more energy in their legs. It's like the whole lower body wakes up along with your manhood. Now, activating these 3 points alone is powerful,
But if you want to make the results last longer and go deeper, there are a few simple daily habits I've seen amplify this practice tenfold. They don't require a lifestyle overhaul, but they do require consistency. Ready to find out what they are? Let's get into the habits that turn this technique into a full recovery system.
Number 4. Small habits, but the launch pad for complete recovery. I've spent years helping men reactivate their bodies using natural methods, and there's one thing I've seen time and time again. The techniques work best when paired with the right daily habits. Think of the pressure points we've just gone through as keys. They unlock the doors, but if the wiring inside is corroded, the signals can only go so far. That's where your habits come in. They're not grand or complicated, but they build the foundation your recovery depends on. One of the most overlooked changes is breathing. Most men breathe up in their chest, shallow, fast, anxious. But when you slow your breath down through your nose and into your belly, something powerful happens. Your blood pressure drops, your nitric oxide levels rise, and your blood vessels begin to relax and expand. It's not theory, it's chemistry. Just 5 minutes a day of deep nasal breathing can begin to restore balance to your entire system. Then there's hydration. I've had men look at me sideways when I tell them to drink warm water first thing in the morning, but after 60, your body dehydrates faster. Your blood thickens during the night. A simple glass of warm water helps thin the blood just enough to improve morning circulation, especially to the parts of your body you care most about. That small act, repeated daily, becomes a kind of morning medicine. Sugar is another quiet thief. It sneaks in, especially in the evenings, and slowly damages the walls of your blood vessels. That evening dessert or late-night snack might feel harmless, but inside it's causing inflammation. Reducing your sugar just a little gives your arteries room to heal, and when they heal, your erections respond. Movement is key, but it doesn't mean heavy exercise. A short, light walk after dinner is enough to activate your body's venous pump system, the natural mechanism that pushes blood back up toward the heart and redistributes it. It's a gentle way to keep your blood flowing where it needs to go without straining your joints or overexerting yourself. And finally, the way you touch your body matters. If you rush through the techniques with frustration or impatience, your nervous system senses that. But if you approach them with care, with respect, like you're tending to something sacred, your body listens. That's not New Age talk. It's the quiet intelligence of the human nervous system responding to presence. These small habits aren't just nice to do. They're the reinforcements that help your body trust the process. They turn a quick technique into a living, breathing practice that supports you day after day. But if you're wondering whether any of this actually makes a difference, you're not alone. Many men do at first. That's why in the next section, I want to share with you something deeply real. The stories, the messages, the transformations from men just like you who put these methods into practice and discovered something they didn't expect. Not just stronger erections, but something far more personal. Let me show you what I mean.
Number 5. Real men, real results, real hope. After all the techniques, the habits, the science, what really brings this to life are the stories. The real experiences from real men who were once skeptical, hesitant, maybe even a little embarrassed, but who took a chance on something different, something gentle, something honest. I remember a man named Harold, 74 years old, a retired postal worker from Minnesota. He came across my method late one night after scrolling through videos, frustrated that his body just didn't feel like his own anymore. He told me, "Doc, I wasn't looking for a miracle. I just wanted to wake up one morning and feel like I still mattered." That sentence stuck with me because it's not just about the physical reaction. It's about what it symbolizes. That quiet confidence you used to carry, that sense of being connected to your own energy and identity. Harold began using the 3 pressure points daily. He didn't rush it. He didn't treat it like a chore. He approached it like a reunion with his own body. Within 3 weeks, his mornings started to change. At first it was subtle, a little more warmth, a little more fullness.
Then one morning he told me he felt something he hadn't felt in over 10 years. Natural morning strength without any assistance, without any expectation, just his body remembering how to rise again. And he wasn't alone. I've heard from veterans, factory workers, pastors, grandfathers. One man, Leonard, 69, wrote, "I don't even care about sex anymore. I just wanted to feel like my body still responds to me, and now it does." That's the heart of all this. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming presence, reclaiming respect, reclaiming a part of yourself that never truly left. It just needed your attention again. What surprised me most wasn't just the improvement in blood flow or function. It was how these men carried themselves differently, how they looked in the mirror with a little more dignity, how their relationships softened, how their sleep deepened. Because when you reconnect to the part of you that feels alive, everything else follows. And if you're still watching right now, I believe you feel it too, that small flicker inside that says, maybe it's not too late. Maybe this really could work. Maybe I still have more to give, more to feel, more mornings ahead of me than I thought. So if you've made it this far with me, don't go anywhere yet, because coming up next is the most important part of all, the step that turns this from a temporary fix into a lasting change. A daily ritual rooted in meaning, one that could quietly reshape the way you move through every day from this moment forward. Let's talk about how to make this a part of your life for good.
Number 6. Final words. Ritual over routine. If there's one thing I've learned after decades of working with men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, it's this. The real breakthrough doesn't come from doing something once. It comes from showing up with intention again and again. That's what turns a technique into a transformation. That's what makes healing feel real. You've just learned something most men go their entire lives without ever hearing, that your body, even after all these years, still remembers how to respond. You've learned where to press. You've learned how to breathe. You've learned that your inner thigh holds a forgotten pipeline, that your perineum isn't just skin, it's a switch, and that just above your pubic bone lies the quiet control center of your manhood. You've also learned that small things, a glass of water, a slower breath, a gentler touch, can carry tremendous power when done with care. But what matters now is not just knowing. It's choosing to turn these tools into something sacred. Not a chore, not a quick fix, but a daily ritual. A way of saying to your body, I'm here, I haven't given up on you, and I'm ready to listen again. I think of men like Walter, like Harold, like Leonard, who didn't just wake up with stronger erections, but woke up to themselves again. They didn't chase youth. They reclaimed connection. And if you're still with me right now, I believe you're ready for that too. This journey isn't about going backward. It's about moving forward with strength, with grace, and with the quiet power of a man who knows he still has more life to live. So wherever you are right now, at home, in bed, or just sitting quietly, I hope you'll take this knowledge and turn it into something more. A moment each day just for you. A ritual rooted in breath, in touch, in presence. Because once you do, you'll discover what so many others have. Your strength never left. It was simply waiting to be remembered.